So Yasir Qadhi is mad. He's mad because a Muslim woman married outside of her faith. Not just a Christian, but gasp, an atheist. Wow, that's bad news, right? Let's see what Dr. Yasir Qadhi has to say about this, and then we can respond.
Brothers and sisters, today the khatira will be a very heavy and deep one. I ask your indulgence, but it is a topic that is, despite its sensitivity, needs to be raised. Yesterday I had a couple that come to me. I have office hours in the masjid. I have a couple that came to me, our own community, and I have permission to give their story without too many details in order that we benefit from this. The issue that they had was that their adult daughter, late 20s, working career, has decided to marry a non-Muslim. Not even just a Christian, but actually an atheist. And she is adamant, and she's going to go ahead with this. The parents, they are our community members. They are coming to me saying, what do we do now? Do we attend the wedding? When children are born, what's going to happen? How much do we boycott? Or do we even boycott? We have tried, we have done. She is adamant and she's going ahead with it. Long story short, there's not much to be specific case. The point I'm raising for all of us here, it's a very difficult topic, it's a taboo topic, but every imam and sheikh will tell you this topic is now becoming more and more common. And
so, first of all, that's some weird placement of the imam sitting behind him. It's got quite the view of the backside of Imam Yasir Qadhi. But all jokes aside, this is becoming a bigger and bigger issue. This is happening more often, as he will tell you.
I firmly believe that prevention is more important than the cure. Correct? Preventing this from happening is far more important than people knocking on my door saying, my daughter is getting married to a non-Muslim, what do I do now?
It's interesting that this is always about the daughter, right? It's, my daughter is marrying outside of the religion, but it's never my son. I mean, yeah, it happens with sons too, but let's be real. Many women that married outside the culture, outside of the religion, because he's talking about religion, not culture, many of the husbands had fake conversions. They just converted for the sake, little Johnny Bai. Johnny Bai comes, he goes to the masjid, he says La ilaha illallah, and he's Muslim now, mashallah. He converted to Islam for a daughter. Yeah, he converted to Islam for your daughter. But there's a lot of those things happening even before this, right? But now it's just people are being more open about it and just being yeah, I'm not going to convert. I'm atheist, whatever, right?
How can we prevent when we're not even raising awareness? So I apologize if you find this topic too difficult, but it doesn't change the reality that we are facing as a community and the crises that is taking place across this country. More and more of this phenomenon is taking place.
What comes to mind, the way he's talking, what comes to mind is some meeting of white supremacists saying, we have a crisis on our hand. Our daughters are marrying black men. We have to do something. It's a crisis. Because this is terrible, right? Muslim woman with a non-Muslim man, the horror. How could anyways.
And I hope, inshallah ta'ala, by simply addressing it and sharing my thoughts, and they are not foolproof, but at least to begin the conversation, I hope that it has a trickle-down effect, that we begin to discuss this. And I'm trying to, inshallah, give some solutions, and you also think about them and come back to me with other solutions. Collectively, we can try to bring about more preventative measures. There is no foolproof or 100% guaranteed, but we can try to raise the bar so that this becomes less common. So
maybe there's no solution needed. Maybe instead of having imaginary problems, we just get in the modern world and accept that interfaith marriage is a thing. Like, really? This is that big a problem for you?
I want to begin by stating the obvious, and that is that there is no question from a legal fiqh perspective, such a marriage is not a marriage. There's just no room for reinterpretation. There is unanimous consensus amongst all the scholars of Islam and all the law madhabs that exist, that when it comes to nikah, a Muslim lady must marry a Muslim man.
So not only does a Muslim lady have to marry a Muslim man, but a Sunni has to marry a Sunni. An Ahmadi has to marry an Ahmadi. You can't even mix between the sects. And he didn't mention this here because now we have an even worse problem, which is marrying outside of the faith. And in particular, it's even worse when it's a woman marrying outside of the faith. All of that honor thinking about, my honor of my family and what will people think of me, all of that comes out when it's a Muslim woman.
No difference of opinion, and this is something that there is ijma' or unanimous consensus about. So we say unequivocally that any person who comes and wants to rechange this law, we say no, it cannot be changed. The Quran is explicit, and the Sharia has come with what is called ijma' or unanimous consensus. But the issue and the problem is that at this stage of her life, she doesn't care what ijma' says. She's not interested in Islamic law. She's made an emotional decision, and she is going to go ahead with it. So now the parents are...
How dare she make an emotional decision about who to marry? This Muslim lady fell in love and is marrying someone emotionally. Well, would you imagine? What a strange thing. I mean, aren't you supposed to marry for what? Like your parents? For money? Like for status? Like, why do you marry someone? Why would you choose to live your life with someone? She made an emotional decision. Like, what a bad Muslim woman making an emotional decision to marry this man that she loves. Do these people even hear themselves? Like, it's just 3 minutes in the video and I'm like face palming so much.
Asking from an Islamic perspective, what do they do? I don't have any, the daughter didn't come to me, she's not interested. She knows what is haram and halal, she's decided to do this. So
Okay, do we not see the problem here? He clearly said, the daughter doesn't care, the daughter didn't come to me. So, whose freaking issue is this? Why are you making an issue of an adult woman deciding who she wants to love? Now your parents are coming in and they don't like him because he's atheist. Like, is that really like a good reason to reject someone? Okay, if he's a bad guy, then she shouldn't marry him because he's a bad guy. But if you're rejecting him directly because of his faith or lack of faith, isn't that a type of bigotry? I mean, let's just call out the elephant in the room. This is religious bigotry. To reject a potential spouse for your child mainly because of the religion, I find that to be a form of bigotry. And look at these men having, making big conversations about what this daughter should do. Is she your ownership? Do the parents own the daughter? Like, what do we do? They're going to the imam. What do we do? Well, talk to your daughter. How about you talk to your daughter? Like, never mind imam and sheikh, mufti, Yasir Qadhi. What exactly? What is he gonna do, right?
Daughter didn't come to me. She's not interested. She knows what is haram and halal. She's decided to do this. So my conversation is not with the one who's decided. My conversation is with the parents of children, me and you. Let's have this conversation now so that inshallah, may Allah protect our families, your families, all.
Yeah, the solution is simple, Sheikh Yasir Qadhi. I don't know why you didn't mention it. When your daughter is born and she's 2 years old, then at that point you marry her to her cousin. You find a male cousin in the family, mashallah, this cousin of hers, and you say, you will get married when you get big. And she has no choice in the matter. This is the solution. The problem is solved, Yasir Qadhi. I don't know why you were talking for 25 minutes on this. It's an easy solution. Just don't let your daughter decide who she gets married. In fact, don't let her outside of the house. Don't let her go to school. Don't let her talk on the phone. Take away her phone. Take away her access to the outside world. Yasir Qadhi, this is a simple solution. I don't know why you didn't think of it. Why give all these women rights? Why let them choose who they want to love? Why let them choose the love of their life? Why let them choose who they want to live with? How dare they choose such a person that's outside of the religion? Shame on her. This is a problem that has to be corrected from the very beginning. You have to put them in their place, right? Do not give them any freedom at all. Then the solution is fine. It's easy.
All of our families from ever having to face this crisis. And honestly, it has been troubling my mind since yesterday. The state of the mother that came, the emotional distress she was in, the trauma. I don't even know how to describe it to you. And by the
Okay, the religion caused this trauma, or like the fundamentalism or religiosity is what caused this problem. All of this trauma that the mom is facing, it's real trauma. But what's the cause of this trauma? It's the religion. The religion did this to that mother. Not the mother. It's not the daughter. Don't get it all twisted up. It has nothing to do with the daughter. It's everything to do with the religion is causing this problem. Because the religion doesn't support mixed families. It doesn't support freedom of the religion. Islam is a totalitarian system that wants everyone to be Muslim. So of course it doesn't allow Muslim women to marry non-Muslim men.
Again, for the record, these are practicing members of our community. She was raised in a practicing household. She was praying 5 times a day, fasting Ramadan. And then what happened? This is our member. It's not somebody. This is our communities. And no more details about the family. Let's talk generics. So, brothers and sisters, what can we do to help prevent such a situation? First and foremost, as we said, raise awareness. Shoving our heads in the sand, ignoring this reality is not going to make the situation go away. We have to confront this issue as a community, and then especially within our families. And
you're not putting your head in the sand, but in a sense you are, because you're not going to solve this problem. Because this is going to happen more and more now. As people are living in mixed societies with Muslims and non-Muslims, you're going to have this situation come up. And just because the husband is atheist does not mean that the wife cannot practice her religion. Why can't she practice her religion? Why does the religion have to be so bigoted? Why can't it allow... In fact, the religion does allow a Muslim man to be with a Christian or Jewish woman, but not the opposite, and not with an atheist, obviously. Or not with a polytheist, but why? How does it affect someone's private faith? Of course, if you have a totalitarian system as a religion, it would affect your faith.
And this means, parents, that we need to understand the importance of instilling Islamic values in our children's lives. If you do not act as a good Muslim role model to your own son and daughter, if you do not raise them to love Allah and His Messenger, then there are going to be repercussions to this. And these are some of those repercussions that have been...
So the solution is just brainwash your kids even more. Don't let them think outside of the bubble. Put 24/7 Islam, put them in Islamic schools, bring them to the mosque all the time, threaten them with hellfire, threaten them with punishment of the grave. This is how you make good Muslim women. So Yasir Qadhi goes on, and he says that if your grandkids will not be yours Islamically, your grandkids, they'll just be biologically your grandkids, because the marriage of your daughter would be zina, adultery, And, of course, he's causing more trauma for this poor mom by saying all these things. And he even tells them to boycott the marriage. He says, don't attend the marriage. Do you really think this sort of reaction from the parents, putting a pouty lips and sitting in the corner and saying, I'm not going, you really think this is going to make your daughter closer to Islam? Do you really think she's going to try to convince her atheist? What do you think her atheist husband is going to think when he sees that the parents are not coming? What is he going to think about your religion? Is it inclusive? Is it beautiful? Or is he going to think like this is ridiculous and harmful, right? Obviously, it's clear what he's going to think. But this is the way you're going to behave. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, I don't even know if this daughter is religious or if she's even a Muslim, but, they're saying she's a religious Muslim, the family is religious or whatever. Maybe she just loves this guy and that's it, and you just need to accept it, right? So I'm going to leave a comment. I'm going to say, I have a comment for Yasir Qadhi. Yasir Qadhi, let Muslim women marry whoever they want. Okay? Period. That's it. That's all you need. And I think that covers it. And, it's sad because, the religion is all about controlling women especially, right? Men too, but in this case, particularly women. It creates all this trauma for the mom. It creates trauma for the whole family. Creates trauma for the husband to be, for the daughter. All of this pain and suffering. Does this religion help anyone? Really? Is it helping anybody? No, it's not. So, this old guy that's here talking about, what she should do and what she should not do. I mean, he should just tell the parents that it's her business. She's a grown woman. Let her do what she wants. But instead, the emphasis on let's brainwash them even more. Let's get them while they're young. Let's get them so that they don't think outside the box and they don't marry whoever they want. They don't marry for love. They marry for religion, right? And that's what they want. That's how they want the religion to spread and, to keep growing, because you need Muslim babies, right? You need Muslim babies to keep the population growing, the Muslim population, because conversions are on the decline. Even fake conversions for marriages are on the decline, right? People are just openly saying, I don't want to convert to Islam. Now what? Before you had the good Muslim boy, Johnny becomes Yahya. Now they don't do that anymore, I guess, right? So anyways, that's all I have. Thank you to all my patrons for your continued support. Please leave a comment below for Yasir Qadhi as well. Let Yasir Qadhi know what you think, and it helps the channel as well. Please subscribe if you're new here, and thank you to my patrons for your continued support. If you'd like to join the team, you can either click join now on YouTube below, or you can join the Patreon. The link is in the description. I appreciate all of the support. Thanks for watching. This is your friendly ex-Muslim signing out.